to my channel. This is Gamer Dom, and this is another subscriber replay. This is one of my longest term followers, supporters, mates, I guess. Indiana Dell. This is Indiana Dell driving the Russian Tier 4 premium light tank. This is the Valentine II. Weird little tank this. It gets preferential matchmaking such that it will only see Tier 4, nothing more. It's got pretty reasonable armour for a Tier 4, and but a god-awful gun, such that you just can't pen a sausage in this thing with standard rounds, such that Indiana's not even trying. He's just got almost a complete APCR loadout, just because he can, and that gives him 84 penetration, whereas the standard round is measly 51 with that 47mm gun. It is a Tier 4 game on the awful Provence map. Don't know why they ever brought this back into the game. Just a god-awful map. And he's taken quite a bold step, headed right across the other side, which is a good one because you get a lot of attention, you get a lot of spotting, you do generally a lot of damage, but he's not really been backed up by anybody. Just all of his team is just camping up at F and G3. But he's angled nicely here, just pumping shell after shell after shell into that SAV, and takes him down. The game's pretty much done, dusted, or well, no, I'm saying that this map, unlike any other, is one where I've seen the most ridiculous team defeats happen, where you think you've just got it absolutely banged to rights, you're about 7 or 8 tanks up and you still lose. A team that defends properly can do a brilliant job, and look, one of our Lux has managed to kill himself already, so now it's back to 5-4, and Indiana is still alone on this flank. Now he's top tier, so that does help, but even so, this thing is not what you call a brute. It's quite a weak premium tank, and with that horrible gun, very much, you know, something you're not necessarily going to be too ballsy in. However, he can go up against the M2 medium. Pulls back because you can see there's a cruiser on above him. He's also taking shots from the Matilda. Got to get out of dodge. Now the good thing about this tank, it does have the same amount of ammo, armour all the way around. Certainly on the hull anyway. What's the armour? Yeah, 60, 60, 60, 60. Mind you, on the turret it's all the same as well, 65, 65, 65. So doesn't really matter if you turn your arse to that Matilda or not, the same amount of armour there. Anyway, got away, managed to get himself back up here, and he's still going balls deep on his own. Not seen anything else on this flank. We know there's that Matilda on the other side. It is slow, this Valentine, that's the one thing about it. Well, the second thing about it, the gun is awful. and it's very, very slow, but it does have reasonable armour, and the rate of fire is phenomenal. You can see with his crew loadout, he's getting 2.1 second reload for that 45mm shell. So the APCR is 84 penetration, only 47 average damage. And look at this, it's pulled back round 8-all. That Matilda, who's sitting on the other side, basically took out everything that came at him, which happens. Although one of the worst tanks in the game. Hasn't seen us, have we seen? Yeah, he has not seen us. He obviously does not have Sixth Sense. Indiana's trying to get his gun down a bit so he can get a shot on him. That's better. Beauty here is, I wouldn't have thought it'd be spotted there, that's weird. Looked like in a solid bush, so to speak. Waiting a moment or two to make sure his spotting is no longer active. Going to pop himself up at a different window and have a look. Finally that Matilda's gone down. It's 9-all though. Now he does carry binos on this tank. I suspect that's not because he wants to sort of sit and camp in it, because although it's a light tank, it's the lower tier light tanks are more like main battle tanks. But probably more likely because he just didn't have any other equipment to put on it, and that's what he shoved on. But in this kind of scenario, it's kind of useful. If he can get those binos working, he can spot a lot of things. Because there are 2 artillery. Well, we've only got 1 left. There should be 2 artillery, but we've got 1 artillery. Ah, there's that DW2. Which way is he looking? Su-76M is a bit of a piece of work. Oh dear. We're losing now. 9 plays 10 and somebody is in the cap. So Indy decides that it's time for him to head back round. And you know, kind of, some people might criticise him for being a bit slow to do anything. He kind of got up the other side and stopped. But he was alone, and there are 2 enemy artilleries out there, so he can't really afford to go balls deep all alone. Now, where is that? Ah, there he is. There's a locust hiding in the... We did get spotted. Again, lack of gun depression is letting us down. Doesn't matter. I think that medium's going to get the locust. Oh no. The Su-76M anti-tank gun has taken out another victim, so he's up to 4 kills. But never mind, our artillery's going after the locust. Could potentially one-shot him if he can get hold of him. It's more likely that the Lorraine will die. Ooh! DW2's managed to kill himself. How the hell did he do that? How the hell did he kill himself? But he has. That's about the 3rd player to kill himself on this map. I know it's a stupid map, but that is ridiculous. Look, Locust took down our artillery. This is why this map is so bloody awful. You get into these positions, there's very little he can do to influence the other side now. He's in a slow moving, theoretically a light tank, but it's only light as in designation because that's sort of where it fits within the categories of world tanks, but that's not really what it is. It's a main battle tank. It's a infantry support tank actually. This was originally built by the British as part of a completely different war doctrine that was basically to have a tank that moved at sort of infantry pace to give them support as they move forward. Of course it was completely outclassed and out of date when it came to the Second World War. There's a Marder out there, and they were given away in huge numbers to the Russians as part of the Lend-Lease deals. Got a crap tank, you might as well have it, Russia, was the kind of theory. World of Tanks, it's an okay. It's only tier 4, so you're not going to expect much. That Locust seems to have disappeared, but I don't know where he's gone to. Right. It's just Indiana against 5 enemy tanks. I could see what he was doing. He was just waiting. He didn't want to go up against... He didn't want friends to... Oh, the Locust is still down there. That's interesting. Is he on his side? That's weird. Seems to be in the same area he was before. Now we're spotted, which means he's around here somewhere. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. No, he isn't. He's just sitting there doing nothing. Taking shots left, right and centre. Oof. HE shell from the self-propelled gun from above, but bounced. Got to get some distance between us and that Locust. Oh, comes the Su. Su's coming to pick. Bounces a Marder shell. one shell into the Marder and reply. Another shot. Here comes the Locust. He bounces his shot on our side armour. Remember, this tank has very, very good armour for its tier. Trying to get around behind that Locust. We can't get him. Oh no, here comes the Sioux. Bounces the first shell. Artillery lands a big old shell on us. Can we get the kill before the Sioux gets to fire again? Yes we can. He's the most dangerous guy out there. Blocks the Lotus again, but he's overdone it, and we managed to take him down. Whoa. 3 enemy tanks left. 2 of them are artillery. We're only on 11 health. There goes an artillery shell. Only tracks us, thankfully. So where's that Marder gone? What would you do in the situation? Do you go chasing the anti-tank gun, knowing that there's 2 enemy artillery, or do you go after the artillery? What do you do? It's a tricky one. Very tricky situation. Now the good thing about this being a low tier game is that it's likely the artillery is going to be quite close. The Marder's on his way down. We can't get a shot on him though. Is that Marder going to be silly enough to go and sit on the cap? Doesn't look like it so far. Which means he's probably coming up towards us. Nope, he's going to sit on the cap. Oh dear. Why, oh why, oh why would you do such a thing? Now we've got plenty of time before we have to reset the cap, but there is only 2 minutes left of the game overall, so if we're going to catch and kill all the enemy tanks, it takes some doing, and there's one of the arty. Putting the gun down. The gun depression on this tank is horrible. 1 shot, 2 shots. Don't let him fire. Oh, he missed. Good. Right, got plenty of time to finish him off now, and he is down. T-18 somewhere. We haven't seen any shots from him. So probably the next best thing is to take down that Marder if we can get a shot down. Now we saw the gun depression is not very good on this tank. There's the man. 1 shell. Finish him off with another. There we go. Nicely done. Just 1 tank left. But only 1 minute 43 seconds left. As far as I'm aware, we haven't had any shells from this guy at all yet. And considering we were spotted for quite a long time, does that mean he's AFK? It looks like Indy was going to head back onto the rock, and then he realised there's not an awful lot of time left, so he's going to go for it. He needs to go for it. He hasn't got time to to get over to the enemy cap and cap out. Letting his binos come on. See if you can see that artillery. Nope. And we're down to a minute left. Now I'm beginning to wonder whether this HMC is AFK somewhere. I'm saying that because we haven't seen any shells from him. Nothing landed near us before. He hasn't been spotted. That's not surprising, his artillery. But you would have expected by now to have seen something from him. So is he AFK? Oh yes he is. And there we go. Bit of an anticlimax to a good clean-up by Indy. Well played, mate. Good job. So a bit of an easy Top Gun there at the end, but a nice game all the same. Started out really aggressively, did well, and then kind of went through a middle patch where nothing much happened, where he seemed to lose his way a bit, and then pulled it back at the end. Ended up with the Ace Tanker, Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect, Shell Proof, Pascucci's Medal for taking down 2 artillery, and Kalabanov's medal, which is the one everybody wants, standing alone against 5 or more enemy tanks. I think that's why he did nothing in the middle, to make sure he had a chance to get the Kalabanovs. He got Spartan, Steel Wool, High Caliber, and of course that Top Gun. What a nice range of medals that is. Finished up, unsurprisingly, top of the team, 1231 damage, 6 kills, 1184 base XP, 536 shots, hit with 31 and penned with 29, so pretty good hit rate really, but it was all premium, so yeah. But then, as I said at the beginning, this tank just sucks with penetration. You need to fire premium. It's just no other way to do it. 14 shells, hit with 5, 14 hits he took, penetrated 5 times, bounced 9 times, and also got some reset points as well. Yep, 62 reset points, which is nice. 47,500 credits after the excessive use of spamming of gold, 17,000 profit, and 2,600 XP would have been about 1,700 without a premium account. So there you go. The Valentine II doing its thing, spamming gold on the shitty old Provence map. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you've got a game that you think I should feature that's entertaining and fun, doesn't have to be Ace Tanker games, or just something entertaining and fun, upload it to What Replays, send the link, not the game file, send the link to my email, gamerdom13@gmail.com, and I'll take a look at it, and if I think it's going to be fun, I'll stick it up on the channel. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Gamerdom signing out.